Opening you just said, that sounded pretty good.
Hello, Dustbusters. Pete and I wanted to sit down and do a winter training awareness video for you. This is going to be kind of a question and answer. And after this video, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact either Pete or myself or Elizabeth with any of those concerns. So we're going to get started now. So, Pete, winter's
Upon us.
fastly
Yes.
approaching. Yeah.
Okay.
So, um, first off, when as a dustbuster, we're going to go to these sites and stuff. When we enter the driveway or whatever, and we're parked, and before we get out of the car, is there something that we could do as dustbusters to be aware of our surroundings?
Yeah, I think it's a great point because I know when we clean at night, it's typically late at nights. So, for example, there might have been a sun shining on the snow and all day long, and then at nighttime, even after they salt it, as the temperatures drop, sometimes those areas freeze over again. For example, so when you're parking your car in a parking lot and you get it out, the first thing that might happen is you'll go right down. So, be aware that there is thawing and freezing that happens throughout the day in the winter. Some days during the day it could be warmer, but then again at night things get frozen again when we're going out to the building. So be aware of your surroundings, I think, like when you're getting out of your car, when you're walking to your trunk, when you're bringing your items to the front door of the customer's entranceway. Look out for what we call black ice or hidden ice or any kind of ice or snow-covered areas that might have ice underneath them, I think is a good practice.
Very good. Do you think that if our workers wanted to bring some maybe ice melt or something with them, would that be beneficial for them?
I think so. If you have maybe like a Ziploc bag at home, you could throw some ice melt in there or rock salt that you might have around the house. So you could even drive up to your spot, open your window, sprinkle a little bit around, and before you get out, or as you're walking, throw some in front of you, perhaps just daintily walking and spreading some salt if you're concerned, or if you're aware that there might be some black ice. I think that's a good practice.
Huh, that's a good idea. So, how about while we're there on site, let's we get there and it has been snowing all day long. Um, or I should say in the evening, and there's a snowdrift in front of the door. What would you say would be an acceptable amount of snow to be able to push away from the door to get in ourselves? Because we do have cleaning responsibilities.
Yeah.
However, 7-foot drifts are probably not something that we're going to want to do. And how would we handle that situation?
Yeah, that's a great question because you never know, and everyone's different about what their snow tolerance might be.
Yes.
So a couple inches versus 6 to 8 inches versus a drift where you can't see the door. I think if you're in a situation like that, you would probably call one of the managers, one of the field managers, or one of the phone numbers we have for Aaron, Pete, Elizabeth, or Rebecca, and say, "Hey, I got a big 6-foot snowdrift in front of the door. What should I do?" Those
Yes.
folks have the contact information for those companies after hours, so they could always reach out if need be.
Yes.
And maybe also just get some coaching. Say, well, if it's only a couple inches, maybe you walk them through how they might be able to get through that to get the door open safely. And I think the best practice is that if the employee has any concerns at all, always call a manager and get some coaching and advice on how to proceed if there's any doubt at all. I would say do that rather than put yourself in danger.
Yeah, because we don't have a shovel on us
Right.
generally, and so
Most people, I would think not. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't carry a shovel.
right. Okay, so you already mentioned about it's getting dark earlier, and the impact of the lighting at the locations can impact our safety. So with that in mind as well, we want to always make sure that we're safe before we get out of our vehicle and around and the situations. Be aware of our surroundings, I should say.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me read through here. Let's touch on the fact that once you get into the site, and let's say you have to take out the garbage and stuff, what is a good safety thing that we should be aware of when we leave the building to either go outside mid cleaning? So
I would say don't end up a popsicle.
absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So I can think of several occasions when I'm cleaning, I'm getting sweaty. I'm in a t-shirt inside a hot building, and then you want to go throw the garbage out. And you might just decide to walk out there to the dumpster with your garbage in hand and the door shuts behind you. And you're now frozen outside in the elements. If you don't have your keys or your cell phone, it could be a very dangerous situation. So
Yes.
I would say we tell folks always have your keys and your cell phone on you, your key fob, your pass, whatever it is to get in the door, so that when you do go out to throw the garbage and the door does shut behind you, you have some way of getting back in. But bear in mind that some of these places too have fenced in enclosures. So even though you have your key and your fob, that might not work for the door you just came out of. So really make sure you prop open doors, make sure you take extra precautions, have your phone with you. In the cold weather, it's so important not to go out and be locked out of a building because you might not have
Absolutely.
any way to reach someone if all your items, phone, keys are inside. And that goes for even loading and unloading your car. You might go out to your car and forget the door shuts behind you. So very, very important. We have seen this where it could have been very deadly.
Absolutely.
And there's always horror stories of these kind of things happen when folks get stuck outside in the cold and you're only wearing a t-shirt or something. Take precautions, slow down, and make sure you don't expose yourself to a situation like that. Have your keys, have your phones, have a jacket, proper attire. Slow down and think and be careful with that.
Great advice. So we do encourage the use of your cell phone to keep it on you so that you can contact people on an
Sure.
emergency basis.
Yeah.
So that's really good to know. How about when we are done cleaning for the night and stuff and we're coming, we're tired, we want to just go home, and we leave our supplies in the car.
Yeah.
That could be an issue, don't you think?
Yeah, it's easy to sometimes think, well, or you might run errands or something, or you might be in between stops and your stuff is in your car, even for 30, 40 minutes, an hour. If it's super cold out, your aerosol cans could freeze, your Lysol or whatever you have, chemicals can freeze. Many of them are diluted with water. So it's really important. Your dirty rags and wet rags will freeze, and that's all going to be a big nasty mess. And if something freezes and thaws and explodes in your car, that's not a good thing either. So make sure you bring in all of your items back to the shop or wherever they're kept normally, inside, indoors, safely, and don't leave those things in your car. It's just easy to forget, but even equipment like vacuum cleaners can become brittle. The plastic is extreme cold temperatures, and then if they get moved, they can crack and break. So I would say leave none of your equipment in your car overnight or for extended periods of time. So
would you say starting by mid-November, it's a good practice from that point on to always bring your supplies back to the shop? And if you have to go home, take your supplies in the house with you. Never leave them in the car after mid-November, until after freezing.
Stops. I agree. Yeah. Good practice for sure.
Absolutely. Can you think of anything I haven't touched on, right?
I don't know. Sometimes you might run into a situation where you might approach a door and it's frozen. The door lock is frozen. It might be rare, but maybe some water was dripping on a door handle and now it's a frozen ball. That's another situation where you would call your manager, right? Don't drive away just yet. There might be alternative ways to get in the building. We might be able to coach you on that. So one of the managers should be contacted. Hey, my lock is frozen. I can't get my key in, or my key broke in the lock, or whatever. We could, if that's a regular problem, or somehow some locks are more susceptible to that, we can give them some lock thaw or other.
Like a WD-40,
WD-40 or something to help them in the future to keep that going. But if it's also a hazard, like a drip hazard is going on, we could inform the business owner to take care of that for us in the future. But another one of those moments where they can call one of the managers to get coaching as to how they might still be able to get into the building that night. That's a great point.
Good point. Yeah, well, I think we've touched on quite a few of these items. I'm looking to see what else is on our list here to talk about.
I think there's just never too much caution you could take in the wintertime. Our business being it's at night where you're exposed to cold temperatures, exposed to freezing surfaces. It's dark. It could be nice and clear when you go in, but 2 hours later, there could have been a snowstorm. So you don't know where the ice is. You don't know where the danger spots are. So extra care. It could even include making sure you have the right shoes. Non-slip shoes or shoes that'll give you grip. Maybe aren't always the most comfortable shoes, so you could even bring a pair of shoes to change into once you get into a building if it helps you. Whatever you need to do to be safe, with boots and things like that. and proper attire for a good, safe cleaning experience to get you through the winter.
And yeah, just to reiterate, please, if you're, taking off your jacket and your coat when you get on site, make sure that your phone is in a pants pocket or a shirt pocket. Don't leave it in your coat and then take out the garbage, because that is, um, you don't want to be locked outside. That's one of the major problems that I see occurring um, with our cleaning. So,
Well, thank you for your time and
yeah.
viewing this video. We hope it helps you have a more successful winter cleaning experience with Dustbusters.